Hello and welcome to today's Dental Taskageddon. So Elliott, what's going on?
Well, this week, Rob, we challenged our teams to create the most absurd story in 100 words using the following 3 elements. We had a chess night piece, the office kettle, and to include yourself.
Totally absurd.
Definitely. For an additional 2 points, we also asked our teams whether they could incorporate a sponsor that was allocated to them. These sponsors are obviously making all of this magic happen. So, shall we get into the stories?
Yeah, let's crack on with Team 1.
Team 1.
Rob awoke. He was inside a sink and shaped like a teaspoon.
The sink hummed softly. Rob realised he wasn't alone.
Several fellow spoons were languishing in the suds, clearly enjoying the spa.
A kettle floated past, reciting poetry whilst emitting steam.
The mugs had grown legs and were marching toward the horizon, declaring independence.
A knight hovered in midair, spinning slowly, whispering prophecies about checkmate and crockery.
A shimmering voice descended from the ceiling.
The Dimension is proudly sponsored by Henry Schein, purveyor of alternative realities.
Rob nodded gravely.
Took a bathrobe, deciding to have the afternoon off.
Well, that one certainly had a bit of a bedtime story quality to it. Apart from Jonathan's line delivery seemed a little bit sinister near the beginning.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, what did you think, Rob?
Well, clearly a reference to my vertically challenged nature, which frankly is just a bit too easy, isn't it, really? Yeah. But actually, this was the only bit of the story that wasn't actually totally absurd, to be honest with you. So from the notes I've made here, I don't even know how to keep up with that one, to be honest with you.
It definitely ticked the absurd box,
it definitely did do that. The only bit that wasn't totally absurd was the suggestion that I should take the afternoon off. So that sort of dulled it down a bit in terms of the absurdness of it.
Okay, well, let's see if Team 2 can keep up with that level of absurdity.
Rob sat at his desk, impatiently waiting for the leaves to fall, when an idea sprang to mind. By 10 a.m, he was signed up to Agilio's newly launched Magical Transformations course, believing that this was the future of creating smiles. I don't need to read this gumph, he said, jumping straight to the final test, Ultimate Smile Transformations. Pointing his wand at his teeth, he began the incantation. Backfiring, he turned into the chess piece before him. There was only one solution. A rare cup of tea made by Cat poured over the chess piece would reverse the spell.
So Nancy seems to have delivered that story of you transforming into a chess piece.
Yeah.
Which seemed to be pretty much the only absurd element.
Interesting, that piece, because the most absurd piece on there is suggesting that I would sign up willingly to an online training course, to be honest with you. So, yeah, totally absurd, that one. But actually, the most absurd bit of the whole story is the fact that Kat would make a cup of tea willingly. In fact, it's not only absurd, it's mythical, that one. So, yeah, shall we see how Team 3 are getting on?
Let's do it.
A long time ago, in a resource hub far away, stands the most important part of the office, the kettle. Pouring a sizzling mug of coffee, Rob pondered how he could vanquish his rivals. Upon finishing his coffee, Rob shrank to the size of a knight, finding himself amid a game of chess. Armed with nothing but a paperclip sword, Rob set off to win. This curse could only lift through a decadent sacrifice. To never tell a dad joke again. Sir Rob, Knight of the Realm, triumphed and arose next to the kettle to a decadent cuppa.
So between Team 2 and 3, we seem to be getting a bit of an Alice in Wonderland vibe going on, where you're transforming and changing sizes.
Yeah, absolutely. But sounds to me, and I'm going to call this one out, sounds a bit to me like a ChatGPT has had a bit of a hand in this one.
Whatever would make you think that?
I have no idea. But yeah, apparently nobody in Team 3 can talk.
Apparently not.
Apparently not, no. So I made a few, again, actually in this one, another reference to my vertically challenged nature. Too easy. I have to say that. Again, building on the theme here. And the other bit in there again, suggesting perhaps that I would never tell a dad joke in the office again. I mean, really, how could that ever... I mean, everybody enjoys them too much here in the office, surely.
Very true, yes.
And in fact, I'll tell you another one now. Just written one down, top of my head. Why do ants not get sick?
I don't know.
Because they have tiny ant bodies. Told you, they're brilliant. Anyway, should we go on to Team 4?
Let's do it.
The battle ensued for 128 days.
Blood washes across the landscape like oceans over coral. The dashing Sir Rob Paxman lays crumpled next to his once trusty steed, suffocated by chainmail and steel, brutally impaled by a baguette spear, with the gluten spreading through his system and the wicked high Zentist overlord slowly approaching him. All seems lost. Until he takes a swig of bubbling green and purple elixir from his portable cauldron supplied by the sage Microminder. Flames erupt around him. The raw, untapped power of the 4 Ps coalesces across the entire TD army. Reinvigorated, they charge forward.
Together.
Well, the production value certainly increased for that one.
Yeah, amazing that bit, but frankly, that was frightening, not absurd.
Yes, I felt like I was watching a fancy film.
I don't know who wrote that one, but I am concerned for them, to be honest with you. But anyway, there we go. Clearly effort put in by Ben. You can tell Ben's put a lot of effort into that one.
Yeah.
But ironically, the rest of the team, the only word they can say together is together.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I think there's much more I can say. The only bit that is why I do find a little bit offensive is that apparently calling me dashing is absurd. So not quite sure about that bit. But anyway, let's move on quickly to team number 5.
Roll the tape.
Rob Paxman kicked off his day with a steamy pun. Why did the coffee mug go to the dentist? It needed a filling, as he chuckled. A rogue chest night need. Time for a tooth rook check. And bam! The coffee pot brewed a portal stronger than espresso. Rob plunged into a realm where Henry Schein won, basketballs bounced with purpose. Agilio stars twinkled over flossy rivers, and DecaDent whales shouted, "Whale, come!" Knights wielded Microminder swords that cut through lag, and royal scrolls floated on my practice cloud. Crowned king of cringe, Rob ruled, smilingly, because humour is the best philosophy. Jeez, that is a tongue twister.
So it seems that Team 5 didn't exactly follow the task description of only including their sponsor.
No.
And also made that a rather difficult read, by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, all I can say is thanks for the enthusiasm, Ross. Geez. I'm actually not sure he was best pleased having to read all of that out, to be honest with you. So yeah, he did it. So yeah, well done, Ross. But somewhat, I just feel like somebody really threw him under the bus with that one, to be honest with you. So yeah,
not really in the spirit of teamwork.
And again, something reference to me telling jokes in the office. I mean, it is not absurd. It's, I think, one of the best things that happens in the office every single day. Okay, so shall we go to the point scoring?
Okay, shall we start with who's getting 1 point?
It was quite easy, to be honest with you. Start with 1 point, and in fact, it was so easy that I've got 2 teams on 1 point, I know. So Team 5, acknowledging the enthusiasm from Ross, geez. And then we have Team 3 on 1 point, thanks to ChatGPT.
Yep.
So well done, ChatGPT. On 2 points, I have Team 4. Team 4, frankly, that was frightening, not absurd, that one. So I think it only gets 2 points. And then I'm going to skip 3 points and go straight to 4 points.
Okay.
On 4 points, we have Team 2. I think the totally absurd bit in there that really got it for me was Kat making a cup of tea in the office, which is just totally absurd, to be honest with you, but anyway. And then Team 1 have 5 points. The bit that sold it for me really was the fact that I could take the afternoon off in a dressing gown. Well done, Team 1.
Okay, well those are the scores from Task 1 of Week 1 of today's Dental's Taskageddon. Join us next week where we go over Task 2 and see how our teams have performed and where the scoreboards will fall. All right, see you then.
See you next week. Put that bit in.
Thank you very much, Director.